Hello Internet, and welcome to another quick craft video on Christmas ornaments. I'm sure if you've ever looked up DIY Christmas ornaments, you've seen these pop up, with the top techniques being using glitter glue, alcohol inks, acrylic paint, and a bonus one, UV resin. And I wanted to try them all, and I'd figured I'd let you know how they turned out and which ones I would recommend. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a feeling I'm gonna like resin the most since that's kind of my thing. So I'm going to start with the one I know the least about, which is alcohol inks. And yes, I'm using a sock to hold my glass ornaments up. It was the only thing I had close by to me. So with alcohol inks, I know what it does in UV resin, but what it does without UV resin is a big mystery to me. I know a lot of people use it for paper crafts, but I'm going to try just dropping some in there and it should be fine. She would later find out this was not fine. So I'm going to save you the total failure that this turns out to be. Just chucking alcohol inks in the glass with nothing for it to stick to does not work. So I tried the felt method. So I ended up trying the felt method because I couldn't stand looking at these failures. It's pretty simple. Just use one of these, or you can make one with a piece of felt and something you can hold on to. I'm using an empty glass jar with tape on it. Works okay. And then just add your colors and dab on until you like. And it definitely fixes them. I should have tried cleaning out the insides first though, because this one's still really dark, but this one turned out pretty nice. And now that that's done and looking better, it's time for glitter glue. I think this isn't going to turn out very well. Glue takes an eternity to dry when it's this thick, and I feel like it's just going to pool to the bottom after a while. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. I'll be making my own glitter glue because it's just glue and glitter, both of which I already have. And after stirring them up, I pour the red glitter in and then try and coat the entire inside, and honestly it was looking really good. And then for the green one, I decided to add a light green mica to see if that makes it a little bit darker. I did not add enough. I guess I'm used to UV resin where you have to be careful how much you add. With glue, it really doesn't. But I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in, and I definitely like this one better. The fine glitter seems to coat way better. But let's see what they look like when they dry. And what I thought would happen definitely happened. This is about 26 hours after I made the last video, and it is still moving in there. I think maybe I should have picked some quick drying glue, but this was the only one I could find. And you know what I happen to have that's a quick drying glue? UV resin. It dries when I need it to, but if you think I'm going to do that next, you're wrong. We still have regular acrylic paint to do. And this one, I decided to try and mix red and green and a little bit of silver. This first attempt, I do like an acrylic pour with the colors by putting them all in and then trying to swirl them around. And I gotta say, A+ for coverage. It looks really nice. I think they mixed a bit more than I would have liked. So let's try the other one by pouring the red and the green at different times. And you know what? I like this one the best. Out of all the ones I've made, this one's definitely the best. But let's go ahead and wait until this dries to see how they turned out. And the answer is fantastic. They barely changed at all, and I guess the acrylic paint was heavy enough to stick to the sides of the wall without it pooling like the glitter glue does. So let's see if UV resin can beat this. And don't forget to wear gloves for this one. I don't mind getting messy with paint and glue, but I do not want resin on my hands. And after mixing up the colors, I decided to go with a similar method to the paint, which is to pour the red and the green in at separate times. But this time, I get to cure them as soon as I'm happy with the coverage. Quick side note, UV resin gets really hot as it cures, so just be aware of that when you're holding the ornament. And this one turns out pretty good, I say. I think I could have made it a bit darker and it would have still cured okay. I could also put some white paint in it, but I really don't want to ruin it. So for the last one, since I know UV resin is going to work, I tried to go with a mix of alcohol inks and UV resin. So first off, I coat the inside with clear UV resin, and before curing it, I drop some alcohol inks in. For some reason, I decided to go with silver, which I know is one of my most pigmented inks. So it turns out to be silver. I do try and put some shimmery white in after curing the silver, but it's really just a silver ball. And I know that silver can be a Christmas color, it's not a very exciting note to end on. But what do you think? This video was a little bit different than I normally do, but I really like experimenting, and I figured I'd share my results with you, which are honestly kind of mediocre. I bought this set for $5 at Walmart, and I truly think they're still worth $5. These two are my favorite, and if you guys want to make them at home, I would definitely recommend acrylic paint. It's super easy to find, it's safe if you want to do it with your kids, and it looks really good. But what do you think? Would you even be willing to try this, or would you rather just buy them pre-made? Let me know. And I have 2 more Christmas videos in the work for this month, so if you want to see them, go ahead and do the YouTube things down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!